Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's Michelle here with another Chris Watts video. So about 24 hours ago, as I record this, there was bombshell breaking news. It was broke over on Alex Erickson's channel. Sherilyn Cadle and Alex did a short live to break the news. Apparently, Chris has pulled out of the 35C. He's sacked his lawyers and it's all over. He says he wants to live his life in prison. He's admitted everything, and everything in Sherilyn's book stands. And for those of you not familiar with the confession that Chris Watts gave to Sherilyn Cadle, it goes something like this: that he killed everybody. He killed Shanann, he killed Bella and Cece, but he killed Bella and Cece twice. And he wrote this in a letter to Sherilyn. He tried to kill them in the house. This goes one step further than the Wisconsin confession, where he said he killed both children at Survey 319 in his truck. But to Sherilyn, he said that he took them alive to Survey 319 because he tried to suffocate them at home, but they woke up. Since then, other things have come out, and apparently there are things that Sherilyn knows that she won't say. So in this video, while we watch Chris Watts lie through his teeth to the police, let's discuss this new development that Chris is not going for the 35C. There's going to be no court case, and he's guilty, and everyone should deal with that and just get on with it and let him get on with it and leave him alone. I've had 24 hours to think about this. I've watched a few channels, various opinions from both sides of the fence, from people who, like me, believe that Chris is guilty, and possibly there could be other people involved, but all in all, the one thing that is absolutely certain: Chris is guilty, and that his confession stands. I've also listened to the other side, namely Kim Kaufman. I've listened to Kim, and she's in the Shanann killed the children brigade, and therefore Chris just killed her because she killed Bella and Cece. That was the original confession that Chris made on the 15th of August in the interrogation room after he failed his polygraph and after agents Lee and Coda let Ronnie, Chris's dad, into the room to talk to him. So the 35C. I've made videos already explaining what the 35C is, so I'll refer you to those rather than explaining all that again. I want to keep this reasonably brief because I want to propose a theory to you, and it's just my opinion, and it's based on no information, no evidence. It's a hunch, if you will. But the 35C, it's not on appeal because he pled guilty. The case is closed. It's having the case reopened. But you've got to apply for this 35C. So it's got to go to the same court and the same judge. And there's absolutely no guarantee that the judge would grant a 35C. In fact, it's highly unlikely that he wouldn't. So Chris would stay in prison regardless. But if the judge did reopen the case, then there would be a new investigation, and potentially Chris could change his plea and he could plead not guilty. There would be no point him going for the 35C if he wasn't going to change his plea. What's my opinion of this? Well, again, based on no evidence, just a hunch, purely and simply. There's been so much of a circus on YouTube lately. And the Watts are to blame for this, I have to say. And I do have sympathy with the Watts. I think they're in a horrible situation. But they've really gone about everything completely the wrong way. Cindy, Chris's mum, she's been antagonistic towards Shanann in interviews. It's absolutely clear that she doesn't like Shanann in death, as she didn't like her in life. She comes off as controlling and just dominating Chris. I've made videos about this previously, and I stand by that opinion. But that doesn't mean to say that I don't feel sympathy for her. But the Watts, they've gone from one YouTube creator to another, or a Facebooker to another, over the last 2.5 years. You know, Sherilyn Cadle was in favour at one time when she was writing the book, and then she fell out of favour, and there's been a multitude of other women who've been Chris's favourite, who've been allowed to have regular communication with Chris, and then they, for whatever reason, fallen out of favour. And this happened to Kim Kaufman. Kim Kaufman has been there since the beginning. Cindy mentions Kim in the meeting that they were allowed to have with Chris through the glass on a telephone, just before his plea hearing in November 2018. She mentioned Kim by name then, so Kim has been around all of this time, but it's only in the last few months that Kim has started a channel on the behest of Cindy, apparently. But then Kim fell out of favour, and Lana Banana, was in favour, and then it became an utter circus. Ronnie Watts, J's for Jonas, and Lana Banana went to Colorado, this much acclaimed movie that they were going to make, and then there's been a break between Jay and Lana, and now Lana's got this new website to charge $10 a month, and the lawyers have been hounded by people and God knows what. So apparently the pressure has been on the Watts, and Chris has just said, to save the heartache of my family, I'm just saying no. But in fairness to Chris, he's continued to say no, hasn't he? If anybody's been following the case for any length of time, right? Chris has confessed. He's spoken to people in letters, not just Sherilyn. And he said he's taken responsibility. He's told his family he's taken responsibility. It's alleged that he's actually told his family the complete truth. I don't know how much of the complete truth he's told them. So they know. It's the family that have been pressuring Chris to go for it. It's one argument to say, well, maybe Chris has grown a backbone. That was my initial thought. I just put it on my community tab. Actually, since then, and I've thought, well, maybe there's a slightly cleverer thing going on behind the scenes, that perhaps the lawyers have kind of said we need to take the heat off this, right? The Watts have realised that Lana is bad news, so they've sacked her off. They've realised that this website is just a money-making grab, which I think I'm in the majority of anybody who knows about this to say that. The lawyers might have said, or the Watts themselves, or a combination thereof, might have said, look, we need to dial this back, keep this in private, as it should have been all along, right? If the Watts and Chris want to file the 35C, and they've got lawyers on board that they're working with, God knows how they're going to pay for it, because wasn't the website partly going to pay for this? I don't know. They go for it in private. It could be that this is all now, let's tell Sherilyn, because Sherilyn has said that Chris actually phoned her. But Chris hasn't spoken to Sherilyn for a long time. She was one of the ones that fell out of favour. So why would he break the news to Sherilyn? Well, perhaps because he's been instructed by the family and or the lawyers to do that, to break the news via Sherilyn, because Sherilyn would go straight online and then everybody would know. And Sherilyn has kind of said, well, just leave him alone now. You know, everything, you're not going to hear from him again. And maybe that's absolutely true. Maybe Sherilyn is absolutely right. That's what Chris has told her, and that's exactly what Chris is going to do. Or my hunch is perhaps this is what I would do, right? If I wanted to just get on with it behind the scenes, I wouldn't have put it all out on the social media to begin with, but, you know, appreciating and recognising all the mistakes they've made, perhaps the lawyers have got more intelligence and have said, no, we need to dial this back, get the news out that this is all now done and gone, and so that the media furore on YouTube will die down, and we can work behind the scenes doing what we do best. So who better to break that news than one of the best known people in the Chris Watts kind of media circus is Sherilyn Cadle. So that's where I am. That's where I am with my thought process. Might be completely wrong. None of us knows. But my hunch is we haven't heard the last of this. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. As always, I've been Michelle. I do hope you're well, and I will see you in the next video.
Is this the truck you always drive? Yeah, you can go in the house, yeah.